Just wanted to do a little update and kind of give a demonstration on what I've been working on. It's real slow, but it's good. Um, and I'll just start. I always offer her my hand to start with, and then I just kind of go from there working with her. I've got a couple of sticks, and I've just been progressively touching her everywhere. So that's what I've been working on lately. And I actually think I'm going to move her here real soon before we get our next rain. We're into our colder temperatures now. We had our first freeze last night. My other horses were in blankets for the first time. And I don't want her in the rain and the cold. It's one thing to have one or the other, but not the two combined. So I think I'm going to move her over to the stable where she'll have the option of a stall and a run in. Um, and I may lose a little ground on my training doing that process, but I don't think she's a flight risk anymore. I feel comfortable making that move, so I think we'll be looking at doing that soon. But I just wanted to do a little update, so I'll just go ahead and get started and kind of let you see where we're at right now. Good morning, Isabelle. Good morning, sweetie. Hey, pretty girl. Your stick's rattling around today, isn't it? Windy out here. So I don't know if you can see, I've got a stick up there in the corner with a little piece of bandana tied to it. Just trying to get her more comfortable. And then she's been itchy lately. I don't know if Matt can pan over. We've got a chain that gives support to one of the gates on the cow lot. I tied a couple of bandanas to it to serve the purpose of keeping her from rubbing on it, and then also to desensitize her a little bit to stuff blowing. And it's been effective on both. She'll actually stand beside it and not flinch or anything. And I don't think she's used it to rub on again because, yeah, that's bothering you, isn't it? Let me brace it a little bit better. We don't need that add an additional spook in there. Here you go. Good girl. Good girl. I try to keep everything just as low key as I can. You know, each horse is so different, and she's very incrementally learning to handle more and more, but I can't add too much too soon or I scare her and I lose all my ground. So she's very used to this coming in. She knows her stick will come down and touch her on the back. So I'm just kind of going to go through what she's comfortable with. And it's been interesting because she'll play with pressure. She'll play with that pressure right there on her neck quite a bit. Good girl. Good. And the back is like neutral, pretty much for us, is what I consider it. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and get her back over here in her corner. Good girl. And what has taken the longest is being able to come down the face. Like I was stuck right there for a very long time. Couldn't come across the eye or below it. So I just kind of keep touching. And I'll come down. A little reactive. I'll touch her on the chest and follow. May get some reaction with her coming by Mac. And I can just leave the stick on her. I'm not worried about her kicking anymore at all or panicking. I'll hang out in this left eye. Good girl. Good girl. Let's unstick those legs. There you go. Good. Good girl. And come back to neutral for her. I'll just go ahead and show you. So I can come down. Let me shorten this up one. And she's gotten pretty good about that noise of that coming in and out. So I'll reach up, touch her neck. And she plays with that pressure too. She likes her neck stroked. Now before I try to go up and under, I'm just going to go ahead and show you. I can touch her legs. I'm not going to get too carried away because this thing will slide back out. But I can touch her legs. I can touch her belly. I try to help her with her swamp flies when they come along. She realizes that I'm trying to help. So I can come down the back legs and touch. And come back up to neutral. So see, she's not reactive. She knows I'm not going to hurt her. Now, if I do a quick movement, I'm going to scare her. But she's comfortable with me dinking around on her. And what I've been able to do, I think the last 2 days, see, I can follow through on this side. Been able to be beside her. And it's been later in our sessions each day, so I may be pushing it right now. Hi. Hello, girl. So you see how my hand's on the stick? I don't know if Mac is being able to capture that with my position. So where my left hand is on the stick, she gets a lot of movement in the eye that she can see my hand moving around all the time. So that's not a new thing. So that's some desensitization in itself.
We can see your hand now.
And so I'm not going to do it right now because I'm not in a good spot. But I've been able to creep that hand up and touch her, like here, with her back to just right before her flank hair changes direction. And then yesterday I was able to, with my stick and my hand, rub right in here. And she was very aware that I was rubbing this area. She got a little bit of worried look in her eye and told me about 5 times that I was touching her. And I stopped before she elevated concern. But she was very aware that I was touching her. And she didn't panic. She didn't step off. I stepped off before she escalated. So I'm going to go ahead and run this out. I don't know if my microphone picks up that sound. She's gotten pretty used to that. Okay, I'm going to see about coming around that head all the way now. So for a long time, that would create a panic. She'll lean back into that pressure. We'll come down. Good. Good girl. And she really does seem to like me rubbing on her neck. Now I'll see if I can come down the jaw. Let me come down the jaw. None of this was accomplished with any kind of speed, though, you guys. I want to be very realistic about this for you. Like that, that's a huge deal. You can see she's still a little reactive. But look where I'm standing. Not the best spot to be standing, but I'm not worried about it. I'm very aware of her movements, just as much as she's aware of me. We scared each other yesterday, and we got out of each other's way really quickly, and we recovered really quickly too. She just grabbed a little bite of grass. So what I decided was, instead of pushing thresholds and just blowing the crap out of them, I've got time. And I can get her to where she's fine with what I'm doing just by taking my time. Good girl. And to make sure that I'm not tense or tight and maintain my breathing, I just talked to her about the cows next door and what the weather's doing and the leaf change. I just chatter at her. Good girl. We'll come around that head again. Good. We'll back off. Bring her back around. But I'm pleased with how things are going each day when I go in. Excuse me. From working with her, I feel good about how things have gone. Whereas in the beginning, I didn't necessarily feel very good about how things were going. So I think you just have to do what's right for you and what's right for your horse. Isabelle, see, she got a little worried eye, but yet she likes that too. It's okay. And horses don't like wind. It messes up their judgment calls on everything. So, yeah, big deal right there. Good girl. And I'll just let her push that. Yeah. Now, we'll see if I can actually touch her muzzle. And come on down. I may have to wait just a little bit. Yeah, pet on her. And then, nope, she says no. Okay, we'll try again in a little bit. That's all right. Yeah. Good girl. The very end of that muzzle is our last kind of threshold there. Can you see that she's a little worried, but there's the lick and the chew. Good girl.
That's for us.
Got FedEx coming along, I think. So sometimes we barely move our feet. We just hang out together, and I basically say each day I'm going to go donk the horse on the head, It's just the real subtleties of it and getting that comfort level.
All right, I'm going to go grab that.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, good girl. She's not being as comfortable today as yesterday, but that's okay, you know. A lot windier out here today than it was yesterday, too. Well, it wasn't even. Was it yesterday? I guess she got Sunday off, and then I worked with her yesterday. All my days kind of run together. If I could change anything about these little sticks, it would be that you could kind of lock them in place and not have them slide, but the extension is a huge benefit, of course. That's the whole point. But they sure get noisy rattling around within themselves. Yeah. Good girl. Good. So see, with me getting closer, I'm just kind of sneaking in there a little bit. She gets used to more of that movement of my hand in her eye. We'll go ahead and rub her on the butt back here. I'm going to come down on shoulder. I'm going to come up under the belly. It's okay. And just as a reminder to Mac, my assistant trainer, named Ace, the kitten, is highly likely to be up inside the radiator on that generator. So he may magically appear here in a little bit. He's quite helpful out here sometimes, enough so that he has to get taken back to the yard and locked up. Now I know the camera didn't get that, but I got a touch about 8 inches on the back there. And probably the best thing with Isabelle is just to slowly sneak them in over time, here, there, and everywhere, and not ever push her threshold too much. And she can realize that it's not a big deal. I'll get one right here. I'll get another one. And see, I can get those in there, keeping her comfort, position, got to keep all that in mind. It's been so long ago that I did the other Mustang that I really don't remember a whole lot, but I do remember that her muzzle was the very last thing that she was okay with me touching. But she was also extremely food motivated, so I was able to do a lot just getting her to eat out of a bucket in my hands. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get that left side now. Wow, that wind is strong. I may have to extend this more. So I'm going to use this now and change the energy on it and push her with it. And then I'll release when she gives me that left eyeball. I'll scare her because my stick coming back in. But it's all good. It's just that much more desensitization. Just don't have it do it at a time where you're going to get yourself hurt. So my intention changes. I'm going to push her on around with it. And that's such an important part of being able to train a horse is then being able to read your energy or read your intention. Do I need you to stand still and let me touch you, or do I want you to actually move your feet right now and do something different? So, because of her still having the discomfort with me on the left, I take all pressure off when she gives it to me. Good girl. Good girl. I usually try to end my sessions being on the left and the energy being super low. And I can touch her with the stick on the left. I haven't done it over the face or under the chin from the left. So we still have a long ways to go, but I just kind of wanted to give you a little update and really wanted to document where we are before we make the move to the stable, because I am kind of concerned that I'll lose a little ground making that move.
Why are you concerned?
Well, we're going to have to run her up into the trailer and haul her over there. There'll be the two other horses that she's going to meet. She won't be with them, but she'll meet them through panels and, just see them come and go into their stalls. And I say stalls. My stalls are panels. They're just as open as this cow lot. It's not like there's wood or anything. Everybody can see everybody. But just the stress of making a change from what she's used to now. And then a building, she's not used to a building. So she'll have the decision to make whether she wants to be brave enough to go underneath that cover or not. So just as sensitive as she is, that's a lot of changes. So, but like I said, I don't think she's a flight risk. I don't think she's going to try to jump a fence or anything like that. I'm hoping maybe she'll be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit happier with the other horses around. So she's doing good right there hanging out with Mac.
Do you think it'll help her being around the other horses or not? Or are we kind of curious about that?
I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think if I can put them in the grooming area and work with her and she's right there in the turnout paddock and she sees them being worked with like that, I think that it'll click something in her brain that, she'll be like, well, that human's touching those guys all over, so. But then because they do rely on herd dynamics and everything, and she can't establish that, she can just see them, she'll be, there'll be some concern for her with that. So I'm gonna try to keep that left here. Nope, she's gonna. Aw, let me show them we can touch your face. One touch. Say sort of. But see that, just as she bumps up against that, there's no panic. That's huge. That's huge in itself. I can touch those hocks. There's no kick. She knows I'm not going to hurt her. May scare her, but I'm not going to hurt her. So, there we go, left side. Yeah. I just want to encourage anybody that's got one that's tough, just put in your 30 minutes every day or whatever you can do. Work with the horse you got in front of you. Let's see if I can go in front of that noggin. Good girl. I just came right down, touched her back on the shoulder. Rub her neck. Good girl. I'm going to come back up above that head. Good. Come down again. Should lean into that. Good girl. And see, that's a real good thing for today.
Couldn't see any of it.
You can't see any of it? Well, just the fact that I can go around her head on the left side without a spin and a wheel out of my way. I'm not touching her. I'm just going around right now. It's still too early to touch her.
When do you think you're gonna move her?
It'll depend on the forecast. I'll try to get 2 days ahead of rain so she got a little bit of adjustment time because that rain's going to be loud on the roof. So, good girl.
Well, I think the weather's good for a while.
Yeah, but I think we had some rain in the forecast for this coming weekend. Of course, it can change, but I'd rather do it a little soon than let her get cold and wet because people assume by our location that the climate's mild, but honestly, because of the high humidity, heat seems worse and cold seems worse. So we'll get her where she at least can make a choice. So just wanted to update you guys and let you see the pretty lady. Oh, on a quick note, we tried to do measurements just by judging against the fence again, and I think we're pretty accurate at 14.3 for her. So we'll figure she's 2.5. Probably get a little bit taller.
So she's between 14.3 and 15.
Yeah. So good size for a Mustang, really good size.
And she's still a baby.
Yep. Lots of growing yet to do.
All right.
Well, thanks for watching, and just like I said, wanted to kind of update you and document where we were, especially before we make that move over to the stable side. Sorry, Pumpkin. I just dropped my stick. And when I scare her, I just apologize and go on. So that's all you can do. Yeah. Come tell them bye. There you go. Sweet girl.